These are 10 items that can get you stopped, fined, or even banned at airports in 2026. Some of these will cost you a few minutes of awkward silence at the security line, while others can result in civil penalties exceeding $10,000, criminal charges, or the loss of your trusted traveler status. The rules have changed significantly over the past year, and what worked for your last trip might not work today. Here is what you need to leave behind. Pack differently or handle with much more care before your next flight. First on the list is the item that most travelers forget counts as a liquid. Peanut butter, hummus, cream cheese, and jam are all classified as liquids or gels under TSA regulations. The rule is simple: if you can spread it, it counts. These spreadable foods fall under the same 3.4-ounce limit that applies to shampoo and toothpaste. In 2026, food-related confiscations have become one of the most common reasons travelers get stopped at security. Agents have been trained to discard any unlabeled liquid or gel over the size limit, even if it is clearly food. Your homemade snack pack with ranch dressing or a container of yogurt from home will not make it through. The way to avoid this is straightforward. Either stick to solid foods that cannot be spread, or keep any spreadable items under 3.4 ounces and place them in your quart-sized liquids bag. What most travelers do not realize is that TSA measures the container size, not the amount inside. A half-empty 6-ounce container will still be confiscated, even though it holds less than the limit. Next are power banks that exceed the airline-approved capacity. This rule has become one of the most aggressively enforced regulations in 2026, and the crackdown began after a power bank fire destroyed an Air Busan aircraft in South Korea in January 2025. The incident injured 27 people and prompted airlines around the world to introduce new restrictions. The general rule across almost all airlines is that power banks rated under 100 watt-hours are allowed in carry-on luggage without requiring any approval. That translates to roughly 27,000 mAh. Most standard phone chargers fall well within this limit. Devices rated between 100 and 160 watt-hours require airline approval in advance, and anything above 160 watt-hours is banned entirely. The complication in 2026 is not just capacity but usage. More than 20 airlines, including the Lufthansa Group, Singapore Airlines, Emirates, Qantas, and every major Japanese carrier, have banned passengers from using power banks during flight. You can still carry them, but you cannot connect them to charge a device in the cabin. That change has caught travelers off guard. The advice here is to check your power bank's label before you travel. If the watt-hour rating is not visible, it may be confiscated on the spot because security agents cannot verify its safety. The third item is one that travelers often assume is safe: vapes and e-cigarettes. These devices are allowed on planes but only in your carry-on baggage. They are banned from checked luggage without exception. The rule exists because the lithium-ion batteries inside vapes can overheat and cause fires in the cargo hold, where crew members have no way to respond. In 2024, the Federal Aviation Administration recorded 89 lithium battery incidents involving smoke, fire, or extreme heat on commercial and cargo flights. That was the highest number ever recorded. Vapes were the leading cause of lithium battery incidents on aircraft in 2022, and they remain a major safety concern. What many travelers overlook is that using a vape on a plane is a federal offense. It does not matter if you are trying to be discreet in the lavatory. Violations can result in fines of several $1,000s and could lead to a ban from the airline. If you need nicotine during a long flight, the safer option is a patch or lozenge. At most airports, vaping is only permitted in designated smoking areas, and many airports have removed those areas entirely. Fourth on the list is butane-powered hairstyling tools. As of August 2025, the TSA officially banned cordless curling irons and flat irons that use gas or butane cartridges from checked luggage. These devices may contain flammable hydrocarbon gases that pose a fire risk in the cargo hold. The change was added to the Code of Federal Regulations, meaning it is not a suggestion. You are still allowed to carry one butane-powered styling tool in your carry-on bag, provided the safety cover is secured over the heating element. However, spare butane cartridges are completely banned. You cannot bring them in carry-on or checked bags. Travelers who rely on cordless tools should consider switching to rechargeable models or traditional corded versions, both of which are allowed in checked or carry-on luggage. Fifth is the item that still leads to the most serious consequences at airport checkpoints: firearms. In 2024, TSA intercepted 6,678 firearms at security checkpoints across the United States. Approximately 94% of those were loaded. The agency screened over 904 million passengers that year, which works out to about 7.4 firearms detected per million travelers. One firearm at a checkpoint is too many, according to TSA Administrator David Pikushke. Firearms present a safety risk for employees and everyone at the checkpoint, and they slow down operations for every traveler in the same lane. Even if you have a concealed carry permit, it does not grant you authority to bring a weapon through security. Travelers are legally permitted to transport unloaded firearms in checked baggage, but only if they are locked in a hard-sided case and declared to the airline at the ticket counter. If you bring a firearm to a TSA checkpoint, you face a civil penalty of up to $14,950, automatic revocation of TSA pre-check eligibility for at least 5 years, and potential criminal charges depending on local law. That one moment of forgetfulness can follow you for years. The sixth item is replica weapons and novelty items designed to look like weapons. In 2026, toy guns, replica grenades, belt buckles shaped like knives, and cone knives are all flagged and confiscated at security. Even if you know the item is harmless, TSA agents cannot treat it that way. The rule applies regardless of the material. A plastic toy gun, a novelty grenade keychain, or a belt buckle that resembles a firearm will trigger the same response as a real weapon. These items will be confiscated at the checkpoint and may lead to additional screening, questioning, or referral to law enforcement. What many travelers do not realize is that airport X-ray scanners in 2026 are significantly more sophisticated than previous generations. The advanced 3D CT scanners now deployed at most major airports detect replica threats with far greater accuracy. Agents are trained to spot concealed blades hidden in knee braces, hairbrushes, and everyday accessories. If you are traveling with any item designed to resemble a weapon, leave it at home. Seventh is protein powder and other powdered supplements in large quantities. TSA now requires additional screening for any powder substance over 12 ounces in your carry-on bag. Agents may open containers, swab them for explosives, or confiscate them entirely if they cannot be verified. This rule applies to protein powder, baby formula, drink mixes, and similar products. If you are a frequent traveler who relies on supplements, the simplest solution is to pack powders in checked luggage. If you must bring them in your carry-on, keep quantities under 12 ounces and expect additional scrutiny at the checkpoint. The eighth item is smart luggage with a non-removable lithium battery. Smart bags with built-in charging ports and tracking features are allowed, but only if the lithium-ion battery can be removed. TSA and most airlines are now enforcing this rule more strictly than ever. If your smart bag has a battery that cannot be detached, you will be asked to check it without the power source, which defeats the purpose of the feature. Worse, if you cannot remove the battery at the gate, the bag may be refused entirely. Before you travel, check whether your smart luggage has a removable battery. If it does not, consider investing in a newer model or using a separate external power bank that meets the under 100 watt-hour limit. Ninth is aerosol products in your carry-on bag. Aerosol deodorants, hairsprays, and similar pressurized containers over 3.4 ounces are banned from carry-on luggage in 2026. TSA has tightened enforcement on all pressurized containers due to increased incidents of leakage and flammability. Stick or roll-on deodorants are still fine, and aerosol products can be packed in checked baggage. The practical solution is to switch to solid alternatives when traveling with a carry-on only. A solid deodorant or travel-sized aerosol under the limit will get through with no issues. Larger aerosols packed in checked bags do not face the same restrictions. The 10th item is self-heating meals with chemical heating packs. Military-style MREs and similar self-heating products are now banned from both carry-on and checked luggage. The chemical heating elements inside are classified as hazardous materials under TSA regulations. This rule catches many outdoor enthusiasts and travelers heading to remote destinations. If you need portable meals, choose non-heated options or ship them to your destination in advance. This is where most travelers make their biggest mistakes. The rules in 2026 are not just about what you cannot bring. They are about how you pack, where you place items, and whether you understand the difference between carry-on and checked restrictions. One power bank in your checked bag can delay an entire flight. One loaded firearm at a checkpoint can result in tens of thousands of dollars in fines and a criminal record. One container of hummus over the limit can slow you down and result in a wasted purchase. The simplest rule of air travel in 2026 is this: if you are unsure whether something is allowed, check the TSA website or the airline's policy before you pack. The few minutes you spend checking will save you far more time at the airport. If you found this useful, consider subscribing to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. We cover airport regulations, travel rules, and everything you need to fly smarter and avoid costly mistakes. Leave a comment below and let us know which rule surprised you most, or share your story of an item that got confiscated at the checkpoint. Safe travels.